TIFU by purchasing an expensive coffee machine and making a terrible discovery, by user President Weevil. I drink a lot of coffee. My mornings consist of 2300 ml mugs of coffee, and I sometimes have a third after dinner later in the day. Recently, I got far too into James Hoffmann's videos and decided to upgrade my shitty drip coffee machine for a proper precision brewer. And when I say precision, I mean that this thing comes with a water testing strip so you can calibrate the machine for the mineral content in your water supply. Serious nerd shit. To justify the ludicrous amount of money I spent on what appears to be the Hadron Collider of coffee machines, I did some research on brewing ratios in order to maximize the allegedly life-changing potential of this equipment. Now, coffee science says the ideal water-to-beans ratio for this brew method is about 60 grams of grounds per liter of water. Out of interest, I decided to prepare my usual ratio from the old machine and see how close I was. It turns out, since I got the old machine just over a year ago, I've been brewing at about 20 g/liter, resulting in what I now realize is pathetically weak brew. I prepared a proper 60 g/L brew with the new machine, and the resulting coffee was on another planet. The flavors were so developed it was like I could taste the touch of the Colombian farmer who picked the beans. I drank my full morning dose of 2300 ml mugs in just over an hour. And then, I discovered an unexpected side effect. The year of drinking weak-ass brew has conditioned my body for weak coffee. And I had just drunk over half a liter of coffee that was theoretically 3 times as strong as usual. It has now been an hour since I finished that first pot and I can hear the passage of time. A fly flew past me in slow motion. I made an omelette for lunch and I beat the egg so fast it turned into steam. My heart no longer beats, it vibrates. And there is something unholy brewing in my lower intestine and I am fearing the wrath of God when it is released. Send help. TLDR, my new coffee machine gave me the knowledge that I've been conditioning my body to piss weak brew for a year, and 2 cups of the real strong stuff made me transcend the space-time continuum. Edit. Here is the machine I bought, for those who have asked, although it appears to be sold out at the moment. Did I get the last one? And here is the James Hoffmann review that convinced me to ruin my life in this particular way. Edit 2. To everyone accusing this of being some kind of viral ad, it's true. Sage paid me, and in fact specifically requested I include the details of me plastering the inside of my toilet bowl following the intestinal catastrophe their product gave me. Aggressive shitting is exactly the kind of PR exposure they want for their brand. TIFU by hitting on my university professor, by user JackRedditLol. A little background. Since this semester started, we've had an online course with a teacher who's based outside of the country where the master's program is taking place. It's been planned since the semester started that we'd hold the last session together in person where we'll get to discuss the different projects we've all been working on during the semester. Well, that day was today, and I arrived in front of the classroom 30 minutes earlier because I got off my work shift. When I arrived to the classroom where the class is taking place, I noticed a cute girl sitting in front of it eating a snack and is on her phone. I tend to talk to girls on campus a lot, and so I approached her. Hey, excuse me, wanna see a magic trick? And I fan out half a deck of cards. She gets excited and pulls out a card. I do the trick. And after that I told her that the real reason I approached her was because I thought she's cute. She started laughing but quickly stopped. I asked her what major she was doing. She said she's doing a PhD in the field of the subject we're gonna take. And it clicked in my head almost immediately. And the first thing I managed to blabber was, fuck. Cue in 5 minutes of her laughing uncontrollably. I told her this is absolutely not how I envisioned our first encounter to go like, and I apologized profusely for not recognizing her right away IRL. In my defense, she had a different hairstyle than the one she usually has in class, and I told her again and again that I didn't mean anything by it and I just wanted to make conversation. She said it's okay and it'll be okay like nothing happened. The class was awkward AF and I still feel ashamed about it. TLDR, I hit on my online teacher because I didn't recognize her IRL. TIFU by going to the DR and completely embarrassing myself, by user Keiko17. For the last couple of days I, 22F, noticed a really bad smell whenever I went to bed. Last night it got so bad it actually woke me up. I sniffed my armpits and the smell was absolutely horrible. It made no sense since I showered the evening before. I got out of bed and sprayed some deodorant on, which helped a little bit. This genuinely concerned me, so I called the DRS office and was able to schedule an appointment for this morning. I took another shower before I went. The DR checked and didn't smell anything unusual. He told me it might be a reaction to food but wasn't sure what it could be. He asked me to call in a few days to give an update. I went home and I changed my sheets. While doing that, I accidentally knocked over an aloe plant that stood on my nightstand. That's when I noticed. The roots of the plant were rotten to the core. I sniffed the plant and I determined that the smell came from there. I was absolutely mortified. I called the DRS office and I had to tell them that the poor man sniffed my armpit for no reason besides my stupidity. The assistant told me the DR was in the office right now, so she put me on the phone with him. I explained the situation and he couldn't control his laughter. I could hear his assistant laughing in the background too. I apologized for wasting his time and for the pit sniff. He said it was alright and that he got a good laugh out of it, so that was a little bit of a relief. But still, I don't think I can ever show my face there again. TLDR, I went to the DR because I was concerned about a horrible smell coming from my armpits. Doctor sniffed armpit. I later discovered that the smell actually came from a rotten plant on my nightstand. When I called the DRS office to explain, the DR and his assistant got a good laugh out of my mistake. TIF update by drunk texting my crush, 3 years later, by user Jiggly Frosting. A very late update to my TIFU I made 3 years ago. I'm writing this post to eternalize this moment on Reddit, as today is my wedding day to the same guy I drunkly correlated liking him to having a lactose intolerance. I rushed to Reddit to be reassured about my dumbass move, and all of you have been so supportive and have even asked for an update. The past 3 years were really great in a broad way. It wasn't perfect, and we had our ups and downs, but I'm genuinely happy right now. I'm glad I fucked up, and I wish for all of you to fuck up and to keep fucking up despite how awful it might turn out, okay, to some limit, I mean. Also, he told me that he requested that they would write happy wedding day to us lactose intolerance. Hey, don't write that, her name is Alex, on our wedding cake. We'll post pictures if that turns out to be true, lol. Also BoJack Horseman reference in case no one noticed. TLDR, I am getting married. TIFU by eating a cupcake in the freezer while my husband was at the gym, by user Melisake. Update, drank water last night and actually got to bed at a good time, good thing times moves fucking slow when tripping. Woke up actually feeling fucking great today. Time to go see my dying patients on hospice. Edit, also, I said Delta 8 is a lie since it's legal here, sorry for the confusion as I was not in the most clear state of mind yesterday. And the mention of LSD was since that's usually my preferred psychedelic and not shrooms. Hopefully I can get through this message, it's difficult to focus right now, lol. I just got home from Thanksgiving in Texas with my parents and my husband couldn't go with me this year. He stayed in town and saw our friend while I was gone. Unknown to me, he bought some homemade cupcakes with psychedelic mushrooms from him. Early this morning he picked me up from the airport, and when we got home he decided to run to the gym. While he was at the gym I decided to go to the freezer to get ice cream. There were several items blocking the way, so my lazy ass decided to not move them to the side to grab it. As I was closing the door, I saw some cupcakes and thought they were left over from husband's Thanksgiving since I couldn't be there. So I ate one and started doing some chores. We decided to go to the in-laws when he got back to watch the football game. When we got there I started to feel off and feel panicky. I already deal with anxiety, so I was worried I was having a panic attack, which hasn't happened in a while. I decided to lay down at first since I felt lightheaded. As I was laying there, I felt the panic keep rising and wouldn't stop. I decided to go to the bathroom and blow my nose since I was basically full on crying on their couch. I didn't know why I was feeling this way, and it even crossed my mind that it felt like I was coming up on LSD. I just thought my anxiety was higher coming off of vacation and going into the work week. It took me a second, but I looked at the floor and the patterns on it started moving weirdly. I immediately thought back to what I ate today, and then it hit me. I went back to the living room and asked him to talk with me for a second. Mind you, his parents are right there too and saw me on the verge of a breakdown when I left to the restroom. We went up to his mom's office and I asked him if there was anything in cupcake I stole from the freezer. After our conversation, we went back downstairs and his mom asked if I was okay. It was clear I had been crying and was not with it. So told her. I accidentally ate a Delta 8 brownie from my husband's friend. Weed is illegal here too, and I just tried to laugh it off while giving lots of side eye to my husband. And it's just the start of our night. Send help omfk. TLDR, I'm unintentionally tripping balls on mushrooms at my in-laws in the middle of a football game.